we head into miscellaneous news. And for miscellaneous news, we like to run a banjo. So awful. You remember Nydia? Were you a fan of Jamie Noble and Nydia?
No, I wasn't.
Okay,
but I do know who they are.
All right. So this is courtesy of Fightful Gossip, YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. And so Nydia on wanting to stay on SmackDown as opposed to going to Raw.
For a bit. Like, it wasn't the first conversation they had about moving to Raw. They were like, you wrestle really well, and that's where the belt is. You need to move to Raw. And we talked them out of it. Like I said, it was a really tight group. And I didn't want to leave, and they didn't want me to leave. So we would kind of like corner Johnny Ace or Fitz or Dean and kind of plead our case. It's like, man, it's like, do you really need it?
Because he certainly didn't corner you.
You got this person, you got this person. I was like, I don't even want the belt. Just leave me over here. And it worked. Like, it bought me some time in SmackDown. And
I was a big fan. Yeah, when they removed Nydia, when they moved her to Raw, that was where it was like, okay, you know. And then same with Jamie Noble. He started wearing tights, and he wasn't really like the trailer trash guy as much anymore. And I don't know, but just a good throwback there. I just wanted to bring that to the show. Here is a clip of the GOAT Tama Tonga in an eating contest with the Great O'Khan from like a year ago. Yes, this is like a year ago. So what do you make of this? Or part, not Tama Tonga, Tongaloa. Yeah.
O'Khan is scarfing it down 10 ways to Sunday. We are at the end of round 2 tonight in Hamama.
Crowd seems to be into it. I mean, what the hell is going on?
No, you can say. I think we can say
okay.
Right? We did already a bunch, so you're good.
Jeez, this is what Japanese wrestling has to offer.
Right, and Gabe Kidd tweeted this, and we have a few tweets, or maybe a couple from Gabe Kidd tonight, and Gabe Kidd's like, don't ever share this shit ever again, bruv. An absolute embarrassment. Yeah, he don't give a shit, dude. He was going at AEW fans too. So it finally happened.
Until he wrestled in their ring.
Just hopefully not the Australian one. At GCW wanted Megan Bain and Zeta Steele threw down. I guess they came. So WWE ID prospect.
Oh, right into the forearms goes Steele.
And Megan Bain going at it. Oh. So are you a big Megan Bain fan or what? She's all the rage in AEW now.
I don't even know who she is. No, I know who she is, but no, I'm not a big fan. She's a throwaway female wrestler, like most of them in AEW.
No doubt. And then Zeta Steele. Have you been keeping up with like WWE Evolve or anything?
No. You know what? Like, the only blonde that I've been paying attention to, really, that's on the independent circuit, is the homie Haley J, or Hollywood Haley J.
Yep.
She's pretty good.
She's good shit. So, Vince Russo, addresses Jim Cornette for the last and awful. Bro, when I say the last time, bro, I mean let me tell you something. This is the last time this is the finale, bro. I will never talk about Jim Cornette or the wrestling business ever again after tonight. Bro, it's the same routine for Cornette over 25 years. Here is Hameen Media Group and the Vince Russo's brand, and he's addressing Jim Cornette for the final time. Why do I have a feeling it's not going to be the final time?
And as I talk about Jim Cornette and Jim saying I was fired 3 times, am I mad? Am I upset? Am I cutting a promo on Jim Cornette? I absolutely am not, because this has been going on since 1999.
When I invented the Rock and Stone Cold, bro, from like that moment, Jim had it out for me.
You know, bro, this is like a stand-up comic doing the same routine for 26 years.
Bro, I swear it's like Bill Burr is
You mean Jerry Seinfeld? Bill Burr switched it up a few times, but
yeah, he has.
Seinfeld's never lost his touch.
Well, here's the thing, man, with Seinfeld. He is just such a legend, and he came from an era where that shit, worked. Like, that's what you did, so
still works.
Yeah.
It's like take Dice.
I knew he was going to say Dice. That's what I was going to say. You brought up Seinfeld, but I was going to go. It's Andrew Dice Clay, bro. Let me tell you something. And he's like, I'm over here now. Who is Vince Russo? Oh, Stephanie.
Yeah, but a Jew acting like a greaser from the 50s is obviously going to wear down after, I don't know, 10 years maybe.
I got this New York accent. I'm from Vegas. So
it's like Dice starts his act.
You ever hear Andrew Dice Clay and Shane McMahon arguing on the Opie and Anthony show?
I might have heard it. I may have to re-listen.
It's one of the funniest interactions between two human beings that possibly ever happened, ever.
At
to have a listen
25 years old.
Yeah.
At 51 years old, it's the same exact act. He's doing the same exact thing. He's telling the same exact jokes, same exact nursery rhymes, and he's been doing it for 26 years. So what happens after that 26 years?
Hickory dickory dock.
help me out, Phil.
Yeah.
I know Hameen Media Group. I understand they've got some people on there.
Sure.
What's the attraction with Vince Russo? They always try to send me his stuff through the DM. I hate to, throw him under the bus, but like I never share the Vince Russo stuff because what's he about? What's his story?
His whole
I know his story, but
yeah, his whole thing I feel like is just well, you know what they say. Jack and Jill went up the hill both with $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50. That no,
damn it.
Yeah, he just wants to say like the most, like he wants to shit on AEW, which is fine, but then he just wants to say the most like outrageous shit about WWE.
Gotcha.
And just to be like, it's still dying, and it's still, you have to go back to Shock TV, bro. If they hired me, bro, that's his whole shtick. So, yeah, he wants to just like be in a bubble, which he is, and it's fine because it works for him. Like people pay for his content, and he gets views, and I make fun of it on this show, and I don't know. I guess it's working, right? Unless they're terrible with their money, and he's not worth whatever they're paying him, or whatever
right.
The ad revenue deal worked out is, or whatever, But yeah, I don't really. Nobody shares Russo shit. So we did like an epic, hilarious segment, or I did rather, on Linda Hogan. And I stretched it out so long, and it worked. It was definitely a hilarious top moment for me. I thought we got a lot out of it. But I wish this video was there at the time because it would have added so much. But here's Hulk Hogan and his new wife reacting to Linda Hogan's meltdown.
I don't know how that reflected onto me, but she cut me out too. I haven't talked to her for 7 years, almost 8 years now.
Good face.
And God bless Nick. He's still such a good boy.
And his wife can't keep it together.
I've never put a face.
It's just pure savagery.
Post out like this with my ugly face and my crying face, but I have to be honest about what I went through in my marriage.
Yeah, that's good shit. I mean, I hate to laugh at her, but let's be honest, y'all. Everyone knows that.
She deserves to be laughed at. She's the one with the record button and doing years.
Yeah. So JBL appears here in AAA, making another one of his cowboy appearances, El Desperado appearances.
How do you live in this cesspool of a third world country?
So he goes to Mexico and calls it a third world country. And he's like, how do you live here? I mean, if this shit happened in WWE, I mean, everyone's triggered by El Grande Americano. You know what I mean? So
I come down here, this air is so freaking dirty.
This air's so dirty. And no one's melting down about this shit.
Country's dirty. I don't know how a third world country like this produced a $1 billion champion like Alberto Patron, but let me tell you this, you are
$1 billion champion and putting over Alberto.
So fortunate, because that man is better than all of your Aztec and Inca gods combined. You should build temples, mausoleums, and pyramids to that man. People have asked me when I'm going to finish buying AAA.
The gimmick is he's like, oh, this filthy, dirty air. I'm going to buy this stinking joint.
Acquisitions take time, but when I do, everything is going to change. Everything is going to change, and I'm going to make Mexico great. So get ready. Get ready. Because the era of JBL.
Hey guys, I think Awful is Mike. You guys could hear it robe-troning out. I think he'll be back in just a moment here.
Is upon us.
That shit is hilarious, though. Like, how does he go so savage? And people in the IWC are triggered over El Grande Americano. You triggered over that, and then no one's talking about this. Ridiculous. Moving along here. Rikishi's going to be at WrestleCon, so that's awesome. Shout out to Keister. I don't like how in 2K25 he comes out with a sledgehammer and he's like an evil villain the whole time. So here's a guy. I thought this was cool. He did a pogo stick splash into the ring. I'm not going to play that music. Get copyright stricken. So he pogo sticked into the dive. Watch that one more time. Boom. That's pretty lit. No? I think that's a good time. So Mary-Kate Anthony dropped this clip here. Not released to my knowledge, but here's what was on the tape after Bret Hart versus Tom Maggie. Ken Resnick interviews Maggie. Happy Sunday, everyone. And then Jim Cornette Jim Cornette says, good Lord, we found Kenny Omega's father. So let's see.
Now, as you wrestling fans well know, nowhere do you find tougher competition than right here in the World Wrestling Federation. A tremendous influx of talent, second to none. And one man who has entered the competition here in the World Wrestling Federation with very excellent and very different credentials indeed. Big Tommy McGee. And Tommy, first off, welcome to the World Wrestling Federation. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Now, Tommy,
yo, Kenny Omega's dad.
And first, that you're Canadian, correct? That's right. And coming from where?
Well, there's a clue.
You know, Canadians love wrestling, as evidenced.
He's a Canadian too.
By the crowd of 70,000 people in Toronto for the recent.
In Toronto, bud.
Now, Tommy, for the fans that are unfamiliar with you, if you would, your height, your weight. I'm 6'5" and 275 pounds. Now, I understand when it comes to credentials, if you're
oh my God.
in a partial squat. Yeah. Which is
That's funny, dude. What do you think?
I'll tell you what, he'd be a world champion today.
Yeah, no doubt.
In AEW, that's for damn sure.
Okay, so Barbie Blank, right, a.k.a. Kelly, talks about having real-life beef with another diva and getting stiffed by her in the ring on Byron Scott's Fast Break on YouTube.
There was one that I didn't care. So the big thing about
there was one that I didn't care
about wrestling is like your life is in each other's hands. Like anything could happen. So you really kind of put whatever BS you had aside and you would go out there and you were professional. Mm-hmm. But there was one time this girl did not like me. And we never really, I didn't care for her. We went out for a match and it was like a tag match and I was getting beat up.
I don't know. That's what I thought would be revealed here, or we could piece together, hopefully.
During the match. Okay. So she tagged in. I was on the ground. I just remember she punched me so hard in the—
I'll tell you who will dig it up. My friend Gary Von Erich, Grapple Vision. If you guys check out his YouTube channel, I recorded a pod with him that will be out like tomorrow, probably. Time Cop. And we talk about the whole Chase and Rant situation with Booker T. We go in depth because it's like bittersweet for him that Vlad had to pull Chasen's rap sheet because like Grapple Vision has Chasen's mother under his comments under his videos, like freaking out on him because he's been like investigating this sort of for like a long time, you know. So he's like happy that we talk about it on the pod. It's really compelling stuff, but he'll dig this up for Wrestling Gets Real. He'll figure out what match she's talking about. He always does.
The heck, like right here, because I got this.
Or Matthew Gregg from Botchamania. One of those two will put the words to the shit happening in the match.
Huge goose egg. And she did it on purpose because she looked me right in my eye and she knew it. We get to the back. I was so pissed. I came through the curtain. I was like, you did this on purpose. I know. And like the producer standing there like, oh, wow. And I was like, she did this on purpose. I'm like yelling. I'm screaming. I'm like so mad. And she's like, no, I would never. And I'm like, you.
Oh, she wrestled Charlotte Flair. No, just kidding.
Yeah, really.
Flair, stepping Flair, stepping on everyone's shit. Here's Ivory, Lisa Moretti, dancing to Tina Turner on stage. This is last year, dude. So this is like what she does for fun.
Okay. This isn't too bad. Oh, God.
I don't know. I like Tina Turner, though. There you
This
go.
is so local, like Summerfest.
Yeah. Local fair, whatever.
Yeah.
No, I'm here for that, dude. So
Hey, but she's doing good. At least she's not in jail for running somebody over or some dumb
That's
shit,
what I'm saying, man. Did y'all see Stevie Richards' interview with Justin Credible?
I missed it. Are you talking about Maven's interview with Justin Credible?
Or who did I say? Stevie Richards? Sorry.
Yeah.
Because Stevie Richards did a whole reaction video to that video, and that's what I recently watched. Pardon me. I meant Maven's Justin Credible video, and Stevie's response to it is really great with James Romero there. So I implore everyone to check those out. But goddamn, at least she's not like that, like she's healthy, looks good, dancing to Tina Turner, she's happy. Speaking of happy, dude, Jonathan Gresham's taking on Zack Sabre Jr. at Bloodsport. This Bloodsport is stacked. Josh Barnett is the forbidden door. He's able to bring everyone from every company together for these Bloodsport events. And yeah, this is a really great match if you're into like technical shoot style, submission holds. Sabre does some phony shit when he like pretzels people up where it's like, okay, that wouldn't happen. But Gresham's like a real, I want WWE to sign him, but I just know they look at him like, well, what do we do with a guy that short?
Really?
Not even to kiss him.
What do you do with him?
I know.
With a guy that short.
I know who wrestles like that. I think you just bring the cruiserweight division on the main roster back, dude.
Yeah. And
you just let guys like Fraxium, because what do you do with Fraxium? Frazier, they just brought him up on SmackDown to get beat real quick last night. It's like, right. What do you do with him, right? He's impressive, sure, but he's just, unless you have him jobbing
is he still under possession, Jonathan Gresham? Last time I saw him, I think he was going through some sort of transition from man to octopus or some shit.
Dude, and that shit was awesome. But TNA like made him drop that when their new regime came in, and then he's like out of nowhere, he's just like, hey guys, I don't know what was going on. I blacked out. That's literally what it was like. And then he just went out normal. And then I don't even think he's with TNA anymore. I think his contract came up. So I don't know, man. WWE scoop him up and just make him fight for the Heritage Cup. Just make him like the reigning. He just stretches all the young guys trying to win that cup, or I don't know.
How about we do this? How about we just let Jonathan Gresham do what he do and leave him out of the Fed? How about that?
Sure. Yeah.
Not everybody can go there.
No, you're right. Before it gets too bloated. And I'm checking in with chat soon. We're almost done. Miscellaneous news here. So the bad boy Joey. The bad boy Joey Janela says Brett should strip them of the GCW belts for doing this. So they're the current GCW tag champs, I think. So come on, gang. One of the best tag teams on the indies right now. Get your shit together, Tony. So Tony Khan, you know what they say, dude. The best guy is Tony Khan, and he recently booked Von Wagner, who's had more credible TV time than like 90% of the people in AEW, if you really think about it.
Best guys, Tony Khan.
And then he books the GCW tag champs as has security guards, and Von Wagner, sorry, is who I meant to say there. I went swimming the other day, dude. My ears still like plugged. I went swimming yesterday. And, like, I swear, I'm
swimmer's
like,
ear.
yeah, dude, half my head is like numb and I'm not. It's like really distracting. Anyways, listen. So these guys are booked to security. Von Wagner was booked to security as well. He was on NXT TV, and yeah, now and then he had.
What do you think the pay is for that?
I don't know, but enough to. I don't know, dude.
Free
Ricky
catering.
Starks is a security guard, dude. Who gives a shit? You know, this isn't a knock on anybody, and it's good. Tony
I knocked that dork with the glasses pretty good with that ratings video.
Because
I didn't know he was a wrestler.
Maybe this is Tony's way of like, I don't know, being like, hey, we'll work with GCW, we'll get some, like, or they just go and say who has local guys around, and maybe these guys were local, and you just want to get on TV, you want to get your reps in, you know, like MJF was a security guard, CM Punk was a mobster for John Cena. Like, everybody starts.
Here's what I want you to do, guys. Swerve Strickland's going to walk down this hallway, and then Adam Page is going to follow him. And what I want you guys to do is I want you to run up like munchkins and kneel down and try to hold them back as they yell at each other like two clucking hens.
Speaking of hens, Britt Baker is at WrestleCon now. Does this mean she's not with AEW or isn't going to be much longer? I don't know, because WrestleCon is, I don't know if there's any like AEW signed talent or WWE signed talent that are like, yeah, we're also going to do WrestleCon other than Britt. This is the only one I've seen. So there are rumors. People are swirling up the rumors, but nothing's true. Nothing's confirmed. She removed AEW from her profile and all of that on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, we see WWE legends and shit being at WrestleCon. It wouldn't. I think Sting is going to be there. Maybe, I can't remember if that's the one he's doing. He's doing a lot of cons. They have him doing one where the one night he's there in black and white paint. Then the next night they had to, like, he got so many people trying to get pictures with him and demanding the red face paint as well that they went, okay, one night he's going to wear the white and black. One night he's going to wear the red and black. And it's like, think about how much money Sting's clearing just doing that, and the demand for it is there. So I think Sting might be at WrestleCon. I can't remember, but you know, like Rikishi's there, some other WWE legends. So this isn't like main roster AEW, WWE guys who are on WrestleCon. Like Jim Ross will be there, but that's Jim Ross. He's like a part-time AEW announcer, you know, so he can do whatever he wants. If Jim Ross is like, I'm going to go do commentary on Evolve, Tony Khan won't say no, you know, but yeah, so I don't know what this means. Everyone's swirling the rumors. There's no confirmation. I don't know. I would just say that if lawyers and if AEW wrestlers had lawyers looking over contracts right now to see the earliest can get out of there, some of them, don't be shocked, especially if it's people with names. Now, does WWE want her? I think the fans would reject her so hard, but that might be a good thing. She might come in and have such bad heat with those fans, because when Britt Baker comes in, they're not going to chant Tony fumbled. They're going to be like, why Bird in our locker room with an ego like this? You know what I'm saying, Awful?
And what, in whose locker room?
The NXT's or WWE's. Like, people are saying, oh, she's out of AEW. Well, okay, listen, where does she go? Where does Britt go? This is where AEW's hurt some people. It's like, I
don't know about you, man, but I am so tired of the discourse of like, hey, they should go to NXT. No,
I know.
There are 40 wrestling promotions out there. Get your reps in, people. Stop trying to go to the NXT or the NIL or whatever. Get your reps in. And listen, if you're at the stage where they're going, that person, wrestler X, should belong in NXT. Nah, bitch, you want to be known to be like, yeah, let me get on Raw. Let me get on SmackDown, not NXT. And for that, you got to put some reps in. You got to do some hard work. But I'm so like, come on, Britt Baker in the WWE. I'm not interested. I wasn't interested in her in AEW, and the metrics show that. America wasn't interested.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. And like the size of the ego, why would you bring that into WWE? And
God only knows.
It's like like rock the boat when everybody's sort of heading in the same direction. But yeah, her divorcing or splitting up or whatever with Adam Cole was like the death sentence for her in AEW. It has nothing to do with beefing Thunder Rosa and all that. They're still doing that.
Is Britt Baker a queen of spades? You know what I'm talking about. No, you don't know.
Oh my God.
Do we know?
I don't know. Awful.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so here's you son of a bitch. Here's Jay George the movie. He's like an indie wrestler. So I have no idea, but this is like a movie trailer with Jean-Claude Van Damme he put together to hype himself up for his next match or something.
Too long, and I have nothing to show for it. I want to be on spring break this year.
Not on your life.
Not on your life.
Fair enough. But what about you have 100 people coming in and out of that thing. Surely you could fit me in somewhere.
No.
Yeah? Well, if anything opens up, I'll be there.
This is awesome. How the did he get Jean-Claude Van Damme to stand in front of a green screen for this?
Feel it coming in the air. There's a scream from everywhere. Only thing that's on my mind.
Let's run this town.
God.
Who's gonna run this town tonight?
Is this Kenny for your thoughts?
Oh my God, dude. Whatever that is, that's why pro wrestling is amazing. Okay? That's all I can say. Here's a molasses and feathers match from 1941. And there's no audio to it.
Awesome. We can fill in the blanks.
Yeah, molasses and feathers. Tony Khan's like, I know, for the AEW World Championship this Saturday on Thursday Night Collision. Time Cop. And then a Bloodsport just announced we get.
That's when I started watching wrestling, actually.
We get Shayna Baszler versus Konami. You old son of a bitch. Shayna Baszler versus Konami has been added to GCW Bloodsport. So there you go. Stardom superstar Konami there. And let's head over to TNA News. We're going to fire through these here, okay? TNA has doubled its subscribers over the past year. Awful, your thoughts?
Great.
TNA Slammiversary, their current setup is for 4,100 people. The tickets distributed 2,500. They are in a building that they're pulling an AEW. It looks like it holds.
Right.
Yeah,
what's
like
going
way
on there?
too many people. I don't know. They got a little too ambitious, I think. But okay, 4,100 for a Slammiversary for TNA. Pretty wild, no?
I guess it's going to look cavernous in there. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, shout out AEW ticks or Wrestle ticks. I mean,
Yeah, thank you.
So what else do we have? Here's Santina Marella announcing to Steph DeLander and Mance Warner that the International Championship is going to take over the digital media title, and there's going to be a tournament for the belt.
At Unbreakable, we are going to have a tournament. And the winner of this tournament will be declared the first ever in the history of TNA, the TNA International Champion. Now, this tournament is a tribute because back in 2005 at Unbreakable, there was a match, a three-ways match between AJ Styles, Samoan Joe, and Christopher
Samoan Joe. Samoan Joseph is my favorite.
Daniels for the X Division Championship.
Yeah, and guys, all I got to say, too, about Joe, did y'all see his CVV interview? We're going to get to that, but he'll be back in WWE in no time, man.
Now, that match made the world talk about TNA. So as a tribute to that match, every match in this tournament will be a three-ways match.
Oh God,
lazy booking.
Yeah, legit. That's some WWE shit. That's some Triple H shit right there, bro. So here's Lash Legend accidentally hitting Jakara. So the Meta Girls, they joined up in TNA here as well to, throw their hats in the ring for the Knockouts title. And this is really good experience for NXT folks to go to TNA and be able to do this. And I'm a huge fan of the Meta Girls.
Jody Threat hitting anything that moves. Back and forth here.
Oh God in heaven.
Yeah, I know.
And Threat is and Legend was going for Threat and struck Jackson.
And so people are going to be like, oh, they're breaking up, aren't they? And all that shit. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was TNA News. Round of applause. Let's get to the juicy stuff.